Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is long overdue. I wanted to just sit down and like have a catch up with you guys. I was thinking the other day, I haven't even told you a lot of my labour story. Obviously I did a labour vlog, but you didn't get to see like how fast it happened, and well, we'll get into that. But yeah, so I just wanted to sit down and have a catch up. I did put something on my Instagram so you guys could ask me questions. Obviously 90% of the questions were, does baby have a name? And yes, she does. So I will be telling you guys. So I feel like let's start there. Then I'll tell you about my childbirth and labour story, and then answer some of your other questions. But yeah, I'm sorry this has taken so long. The reason I've taken so long to tell you guys the name is because it took me so long to decide the name. As always, like with Mila, like I really struggle with names, but we have got a name, and we just couldn't agree on a name. Like, I love the name Ruby. Like, I love Ruby with Mila. I love Ruby this time around. I'm just so obsessed with the name, but my boyfriend's just not really like feeling it, and other people just, no one really likes the name Ruby. I love the name Ruby, so if it was down to just me, she would have been called Ruby. Then we like the name Layla, which was my boyfriend's choice, and I do love the name Layla, but I just feel like, I just don't feel like she's a Layla. I feel like she's got more to her than a Layla, even though Layla's a beautiful name. I don't know, it just wasn't fitting. And then I love the name Lola, literally obsessed with the name Lola. I think it's so cute. I like short, sweet, simple names, and I want it to kind of go with Mila. Like, it doesn't need to like match, but I just feel like Mila and Lola is just so cute. You okay, baby? Let me put her by here 1 second. My little honey, you okay? She's the cutest thing ever. Oh, you're fluffing. I'm gonna sit on your play mat. I got like this little cute comfy mat here with 2 laps. Yeah, but he didn't like Lola, so we couldn't have that, which I was really gutted about. They were like the main ones. There was a couple other names. Like, I love the name Story. I just love the name Story. My friend Madison suggested it. There's like an actor or someone, she's from LA, and they named their kid Story, so that's how she knows the name Story, and I was obsessed. I love Story, but it sounds really similar to Stormy, Kylie Jenner's baby, and I just knew everyone would be like, oh, da 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 da. So that's one reason why I didn't name her Story, because I just felt like it was too similar, which I know sounds stupid, but, and then like we were looking at it and we were like, it doesn't look like a Story, so that's another reason. But anyway, so let me stop saying all the names I was gonna choose and tell you guys the princess's name. So we decided, and let me just say before I say this name, the whole of my pregnancy I was settled on this name. I was like, this is gonna be her name, it's perfect, it goes with Mila, it's soft, it's cute, it's delicate, I just love it. And then when she was born, or a couple of days, like a week before, my boyfriend was like, no, like we need something better. And that's, from that point is when she had no name, up to we just went back to this name again. But anyway, so the name, oh, are you okay? Anyway, so her name is Isla, spelled I-S-L-A. I love this name. I've always loved this name since I was little, because I love the actress Isla Fisher, and I'd never heard the name before her, and I always thought when I was younger, oh, I love that name, I'm gonna name my baby Isla. But for some reason with Mila, I just forgot about that name. Hi. And then during this pregnancy, it just popped up in my head, and I was like, oh my god, Isla, like I love that name. Are you okay? Run your dum-dums. So that's the name, guys. Let me know what you think. I think Mila and Isla goes really nicely together, and I just love the name. So yeah, that is her name. You guys finally know. I just wanted her name to be perfect because she is literally so perfect, and I'm so obsessed with her. I didn't want to rush the name in, so yeah, she's so cute. But yeah, okay, so let me tell you now about my labour story, guys. So where do I start? So obviously, if you haven't seen the labour vlog, go check it out, it's on my page. But my contractions started, I think, the similar time to Mila's, like 1 AM or something like that. They were going through the night, but they just weren't progressing like they were with Mila's. So with Mila, by 11 AM, So they started at 1 a.m, both of them around that time. With Mila, I was in hospital by 11 a.m, but with baby Isla, by 11 a.m, they were still really, really far apart, sometimes like 20 minutes, sometimes half an hour. They weren't growing in pain, they were just so like random, and the progression was really slow. So I was like, oh my god, this labour's going to be really long. Because we are just lastminute.com, Madison and my boyfriend went to Westfield just to pick up some last minute bits. Because I was like in slow labour, so I was like, yeah, you guys can go, it's fine. But then when they were there, they were just there for so long. I guess like going to Westfield, like, and running around, it does take ages. So they were there for so long, and they started to get progressively worse, my contractions. And I was saying, I was with like Aaliyah, my friend, my mum, was anyone else there at that point? I think it was just us three. Yeah, so it was getting a bit worse from about 5 p.m, and I was like, right, they need to come home now because I can feel them getting worse. Whenever I stood up and walked around, I'd have a contraction, so I was just sat down for most of the time, because I was like, if I keep standing, because I know you're supposed to stand up, walk around to bring it on, but because they weren't back yet, I was like, let me just sit down, because every time I stand up I'm bringing on a contraction, so I'm probably dilating more. But yeah, it started to get really bad, and it's just like literally in the nick of time. I don't know if my body was waiting for him to get home, but as soon as he got home, it was 0 to 100. Like, he was like, we need to go, because obviously he's seen me do it before, so you know when I'm in pain. Like, I don't really say much, I'm just silent, but you can tell when like I'm in pain. So he was like, yeah, we need to go now. So yeah, we got there. When I keep referring back to Mila, because obviously like it was just the other day, so do tend to compare the labours. Yeah, so when I got there with Mila, I was 3 centimetres dilated, and you're considered in active labour from 4 centimetres. So when I got there with Mila, they were like, walk around for an hour, get something to eat, get your energy up, come back. They make it sound like it's going to be a walk in the park. Literally, that walk, I remember with Mila, was horrific. Like, I hate walking and I hate standing when having a contraction. When I'm having a contraction, for some reason I like to be sat down. I don't know why, like, I like to be sat down, because I've really got to focus on getting through that contraction, because if you lose focus, the contraction's a lot worse. It's hard to explain, but yeah. So with Mila, that's what I had to do, and it was literally like deja vu, because we went and sat outside Costa Coffee, was having contractions, I spewed in the exact same spot. I done it again with Isla, they said the same thing, except this one was 2 centimetres. So I was like, oh my god, this is going to be even longer than with Mila. Mila's wasn't that bad. Like, I got there at about 11, I'd given birth by 5 p.m. But this time I got there, I was on 2 centimetres, and I'd already had such a slow progression. I was like, oh my god, this is going to take ages. We were both thinking, she's not going to come tonight. Because I forgot to say, I got to hospital about 7 p.m. So we were like, she's not going to come tonight. This is going to be slow, this is going to be long, whatever. Was it 7 I got there, or 8? It was either 7 or 8. I think it was 8 o'clock, you know, yeah. Anyway, so like deja vu, did the walk again, hated it. Like, hate that walking part before they let you into the room. Spewed in the exact same spot, literally deja vu. My mum came to drop me something. I've got my maternity notes, so Aaliyah and my mum came to drop them. My mum came in hospital, and I was like being sick. She was like, oh my god, like, I was throwing up. I was really, really like, I was saying to my boyfriend, I forgot how bad this was. This is literally horrible. Like, he would never understand, but I was like, this is so horrible. I'm really upset that I'm going through this right now. Yeah, you do forget the pain. You literally do forget the pain, and then if you have like a second, third child, whatever, you forget about the pain, and then when you're having it again, you're like, oh my god, I forgot it was this bad. Like, for some reason, you just forget how bad it is. Not to put anyone off. It's obviously like there is an end goal, so it's not, I just don't want to put anyone off. Obviously it's horrific, but there is an end to it, and then when you give birth you do forget about it, so don't let this put you off. But yeah, as soon as I got in the room, I was like, can you run the bath? Like, I know how much the bath relieves me. I love being in the water. Well, I don't say I love being in the water when I'm in labour. There's nothing to love about being in that pain, but it does take the edge off for me. So as soon as I got in the room, I was like, can you run the bath? And it takes like 30 minutes to fill the bath. So at this point, I'm like, I'm not standing anymore. I'm on my hands and knees. I'm having my contractions here. They give me gas and air. Had one bit, it made me feel so sick. So I was like, no. So I didn't have any pain relief at all. So I'm on my hands and knees, having contractions, waiting for the water. And just in my head, I'm like, bath be ready soon. Just get in the bath. Take this one step at a time. With Mila, I was in the bath for 4 hours. And I was pushing for 1 hour. So 3 hours in the bath, and then I was still in the bath for an hour pushing, if that makes sense. You have to come in and out to check your dilation, so Mila was in and out. When I'd have to get out of the bath, that was like the worst thing ever. So I was just remembering all these things. So I was thinking, right, just get in the bath, get through it one step at a time, thinking this is going to be like a really long evening ahead. So she was like, the bath's ready, let's just check how dilated you are before you go in. If you don't know, I think 10 centimeters dilated is literally when the baby, you don't get more dilated than 10 centimeters. She was like, yeah, you're like 8 centimeters. We were like, oh my god, 8 centimeters, that's amazing. I thought it'd be like 4. So anyway, got in the bath. I kid you not, guys, as soon as my toe touched the bath, like as soon as I got in, first of all I was like, oh my god, this feels insane, thank you Lord, like I'm finally in the bath. And within 5 seconds, obviously a contraction was coming. I was like, I feel like I need to push. She was like, that's fine, just do whatever your body wants. I was so confused because it took so long to get to this point with Mila. Sorry, my memory card keeps running out, so I have to delete stuff. But yeah, I was like, oh my god, I think I'm pooping, I'm so sorry. And she was like, no, that's the baby, keep going, you're doing really well. When I heard that, it was music to my ears, because I was obviously in so much pain, and the thought of like having like such a long night ahead of me was like, it was just like, it was so horrible. I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe I've got hours and hours and hours left of this. This is just the start. That's all I kept thinking, is this is just the start. And then when she said that, I was like, oh my god, amazing. Obviously I wasn't actually verbally saying, oh my god, amazing, because I'm going through a contraction, which is, yeah, I'm going through it, but I'm just remember thinking in my head like, oh my god, okay, that's amazing. And then I got the head out on that push. She was like, amazing, the head's out, she's got loads of hair. One more contraction and you'll have your baby. And me and my boyfriend looked at each other like, what the hell, because we were just literally mentally preparing for like a long night. Next contraction came, pushed her out, that was it. I was honestly in the bath for 2 minutes max. So yeah, literally I was in the room for a total of 35 minutes. So it was the fastest thing ever. So my mum, remember I said my mum came to drop me the maternity notes, and like as soon as she left, we went up to the room then. So she just got home, my boyfriend called her, so she answered thinking, you know, maybe we'd gone up to the room, or like he was going to give an update. She just walked in the door, so the hostel's like a half an hour drive. So she just got home. My boyfriend was like, yeah, we've had the baby. And so she was like, what the hell? Like, I was literally just there. She literally just drove back and I'd given birth. But yeah, no one was expecting me to give birth that night because of how slow I was progressing during the day. So yeah, and that was that. She weighed 7 pounds on the dot. Mila was 8'4", so she was so much smaller. Didn't have any tearing. I feel like Mila did all the damage. Yeah, it was just like super smooth, so fast, had no tearing. I wasn't really in much pain after. She latched straight away. Yeah, so it was perfect. It was a really good labour, super fast. Can't believe how fast it was. The active labour part. I was conversation with one of my friends, like, because like loads of people around me getting pregnant and stuff now, but I was having this conversation about like contractions, like anyone who's expecting or something, maybe this will help. But for me personally, right, when I have a contraction, you kind of have to zone. This is just for me, but I'm just telling you guys because it might help someone when they're in labour, and I feel like it will. When you have a contraction, you have to like zone out. So I zone out everything around me, like I stay silent, like and you've got to like ride the wave. It's like riding a wave. You've got to ride the contraction. Breathe. Just I tell myself it's okay. This means the baby's coming. Like this is good. Like you mentally talk yourself through it. Ride the wave of the contraction, and then it's over. Obviously, it's really painful, but you just go like that. If I enter a contraction and I'm distracted, someone's talking to me, or the contraction comes and I'm nervous. If you're scared before your contraction, you can feel it coming. You're like, oh my god, I'm scared, and you go into it like this with fear. You lose focus on the contraction. You can't ride it. The contraction's so much worse, and you're just out of control of it. So you're just like like. It's really hard to explain. It sounds so crazy, but you've really got to like when the contractions come in. It's okay, we're ready, let's go, rather than being like scared, because it is really easy to be scared. Like when they started picking up for me, I lost focus of 1 or 2 because I was scared. I was like, oh my god, I'm scared, it's coming, it's coming. And then when I went into that one and I couldn't focus or ride that contraction, it's 10 times worse. Sounds really crazy, but that's how it works for me. But I had a conversation with one of my friends and she felt the exact same. She had like similar techniques to me. I think it's like hypnobirthing. But anyway, so that is my labour and childbirth story. Yeah, she was perfect. We stayed overnight, left the next day. The difference with Mina is during my pregnancy and leading up to the labour, I could just sleep all the time. I didn't have any other responsibilities. It was locked down. So I had like a lot of energy going into it. But with Isla, obviously I have a toddler, a crazy toddler, Mila, so literally up till the day she was born I was still running around after Mila. I'm still sleep deprived because Mila's up in the middle of the night. So I had like a lot less energy going into this birth, and obviously it's very exhausting giving birth, like it drains your energy. So after it, I was kind of delirious, like I just felt so weak. So the midwives really wanted me to get rest, but something that I forgot, I don't even know if I knew this with Mila, but the first 2 days, the baby, if you're breastfeeding, is stuck to your boob because your milk's not there yet. You have the colostrum, but to bring the milk in, the baby has to constantly be on it. So as soon as I gave birth, she's on my boob, she won't come off. She's just on my boob, take her off. She's like fussing, crying to get back on it. So I was so knackered, but she was so tiny, you can't like fall asleep when she's on the boob, and like everything was uncomfortable. I remember that first night I was so exhausted. I was saying to the midwife, I was like, she won't get off my boob, like I'm so exhausted, like I literally feel like they could tell, like I was felt, and they kept checking my blood pressure and stuff because I was just like delirious. I was so exhausted. So the following morning they come and took the baby. I guess they're just better at settling. It's their job. I couldn't settle her without her being on my boob, and I was just, yeah, I was like a walking zombie. So they came and took her for an hour or 2 to let me sleep, and honestly I think it was 2 hours, that 2-hour nap that I had, I was like a new woman. Got up, showered, and yeah, I took baby home, and you guys seen when I took Isla home to meet her sister. So yeah, that's my childbirth and labour story. Okay, so some of your questions, obviously I said 90% were asking her name, but I'm just going to answer like a few. I think like another like main question I got is just like, how am I finding having 2 under 2? And the first week, obviously I had Madison here. If you guys see my other vlogs, when she left I was like so upset, just because I love her and I miss her, but also she's been such a good help, and I was just kind of scared, like how am I going to cope? But when she went, my boyfriend, like he didn't really go straight back to work. He didn't go back to work straight away, so he was there helping. But honestly, like the first week to 10 days was hard. Like I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. I needed the help from my boyfriend, Madison. My mum was there for the first couple of days. And I remember the first like day my boyfriend went to work and I had the 2 babies by myself. It was hard, I'm not gonna lie. The first, like I'd say like 10 days to 2 weeks max was hard, and then you just kind of, it just kind of becomes a new normal. And now I don't feel like just having Mila is any easier than having the 2, if that makes sense. So like, yeah, I've like adjusted, and it's just like the new norm to me. Obviously Mila has a routine where she's dinner, bath, bed at the same time every night. So the baby is just kind of following that routine. So the baby's, I'd say, already in a routine, which is amazing, because with Mila there was no proper routine till she was a couple of months old. And yeah, the difference with Mila is like I just would never put her down, like, because I didn't have to, you know, newborns, they sleep all the time, so I just held her constantly. I didn't want to put her down, because if I put her down I didn't really have much else to do. It was locked down, whatever. But with Isla, obviously I've still got to care for Mila, who's like a handful. She takes a lot of attention, so I'm putting her down a lot, whereas with Mila she was never put down. If I wasn't holding her, somebody else was. The only time I'd put her down is if someone wanted to hold her. But with Isla, she can self-soothe already. She sleeps in a separate crib, a next to me bed, because everyone told me with Mila, don't have them in your bed, it's going to be hard when you want them to be out, blah blah blah. I've learnt my lesson, so I have a next to me crib, so she's right next to me, but she sleeps like really well. She only wakes up maybe twice through the night. She's actually a better sleeper than Mila already. But obviously there is moments where like I'm bathing Mila and baby's crying, so then I'm attending to Isla and then Mila's crying. I'm going back and forth and I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. But more time it's not, like I'll just kind of, when I'm running Mila's bath, and make sure baby's fed, settled, because I know then I'm gonna have to bath Mila, get ready for bed, put her into bed before I can go back to Isla. But yeah, you just figure it out, and yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving being a mama too. Like sometimes I'm just like, when they're both in bed, sleep, and I just got a minute, I'm just like, I'm so blessed to have these two beautiful little girls. Like it's amazing. But yeah, so I'm adjusting well. It's not like it's crazy hard as I thought, to be honest. But I have obviously got Mila in nursery now. She's only been going for like, this is like her second week. Mila, she needs to go because she needs that stimulation all the time. I need the time to work. I need the time for my mental health because literally Mila's go from the second she wakes up. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. she does not give you a minute to rest. She doesn't want to sit down and play with toys. She doesn't want to sit and watch TV. She's like super active. She wants to be kicking a ball around or running around or playing on a scooter, or do you know what I mean? She's a very which I love about her, but obviously it's really hard for me to be like caring for her, making her 3 meals a day, being up with her in the night, do you know what I mean, doing all this and stimulating her 24/7. It's a lot. So put her in nursery for that reason, and also I felt like I needed that time to bond with the baby because I don't really get that chance. Only when Mila's in bed then I get that chance to just lay and cuddle Isla, and or when Mila's napping. Mila in nursery 3 days a week now, so 2 of those days I work. Obviously Isla comes with me, and then the other day, which is today, which technically I'm working because I'm making a video, but not really. But I've said one of those days I'm doing nothing. I'm just chilling with Isla, letting her sleep on my chest if she wants to, whatever. I'm just chilling with her, and yeah, it's been really good for mine and Isla's bond to give us that time. So yeah, answer that question and probably several more in that. How are you doing? How do you feel? I feel good. I do feel tired, but not like super crazy sleep deprived. I feel like I'm used to it. But yeah, some of you guys, that's another thing I want to say, so many of you guys are just asking how am I, like how do I feel, like am I good, which is really, really cute that you guys care. Thank you so much for asking. It's just so nice when someone, when you know people like actually care about your well-being. It's really, really nice. But yeah guys, thank you so much. Like I feel good, I'm happy. I've had a couple like stressy moments, but I'm doing really good and I'm really happy. I feel so blessed and everything's just working out. Like I was more scared going into it, like how am I going to cope, how am I going to manage, how am I going to do work, like blah blah blah, but I've just kept like focused, and I find the time, like when the girls are sleeping, that's when I'll edit my videos, that's when I'll reply to my emails. You find a way for everything. So yeah, I'm still managing to work. Everything's going well at my work side, everything's going well with my girls, like yeah, everything's just going really well. I'm in like a good place. So yeah, I'm really happy and just feel so grateful and so blessed. But yeah, thank you guys so much for asking. Do you want any more kids? I feel like I would, but I feel like my boyfriend is done. I don't think he wants any more. He's older than me, so he's just like, yeah, we're good. So yeah, I'm very content with having my 2 little girls. But would I go again? Yeah, definitely not straight away. I need a gap. I need them to both be in school, or at least preschool, and then I'd want a boy because, you know, just I don't have a boy, it'd be nice to have one. But I'm very content with 2, but I don't think it's on the cards, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm so glad I finally caught up with you guys, and yeah, thank you all so much for checking in on me, and I really, really appreciate you guys and all your kind messages and all your love. Like honestly, like it means the world to me. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this little video and hope you like baby's name. Yeah, hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.